Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to All the Mods 6. Now you're probably wondering where my armor's at. We're going to pop over, I'm going to show you where that's at here in just a moment. But I have been working a lot, both in a test world as well as on here. You can see I did bring the docks out a bit. I got some stuff prepped in there, which we're going to get into today. I did build out this and got this kind of looking a bit nicer. It's all pretty much set up the same way. I did move the garbage drawer over to there, but beyond that, it's all set up pretty much the same way. I did make my very first and my very second. I did set one up over in the temple. But I made a couple mega torches. I had to go do a little bit of mining, but simple enough. But the reason I finally just said, okay, I'm going to make one of these. Because originally I was going to wait till we did Astral and then set up one of those rituals. But I was down here, I was working on the dock, and I was just building. And all of a sudden, it said that one of my rats had been killed. So I ran over to here. A wilding hunter had came into here and had killed a rat that was out on the farm and then was headed over for the crafting rats. So I had to dispatch him, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to have wilding hunters coming into our farm and just murdering our rats, because I had to bring another one over here and set it back up and all that mess. This guy does get stuck a little bit, but he quickly fixes himself. So I set up a mega torch over here, which has kept everything safe now. Let's see, put a roof on top of this. I did go ahead, put an Elven Mana Spreader here with a Phantom Lens, because otherwise it would get caught on this roof. And it goes up to that mana pool, which that mana, it can come down to this pool, which we're going to be using today. And then it can also go over to that pool, which is then sent over to that pool. Because we're going to be making use of that today. Up here, I have cleaned up our flower system. I did a lot of testing. I couldn't really find a really good magical themed way for where we're at the moment to harvest the 2 tall flowers. So what I did was I just did frame trap doors with this chiseled glass and just put them over the flowers. That means that only 1 tall flowers can spawn. We can still see them, and I actually kind of like the way it turned out, to be honest. That way we can harvest all the flowers and not waste basically waste element and waste time making 2 tall flowers, because there's nothing that we can really do with them. Plus, realistically, we can't really do a whole lot with them as far as the setup goes. So focusing on the 1 talls is honestly, I think, best. And then over here, I set up, I don't want that. Somebody get to work. Oh, a tree managed to grow. Wow. But over here, let's see, we got a couple drawers set up. I am going to clean this up, but I just set it up. Originally, I had it on the side of that building, and then I was like, it's not really moving far enough, so I decided we were going to set it up over here, just so we have things moving further, basically. We're trying to spread everything out, so items have to move further, so we have more movement across this area. And then over here, we're going to be making use of this today, but these are pedestals with the Kymerite Crystals. We talked about these briefly last episode, and I said that I thought there was a speed boost one. I played around a little bit in the test world, couldn't find it, but I don't need it for what we're going to be doing today, because this is ore doubling. Okay, and something interesting that I came across while I was in the test world is that if you have your saturated peat, if you go to smelt it to make peat, normally it only makes 1. Okay, however, the ore doubling from Mana and Artifice actually works with the Rune Forge to ore double peat. So you actually get 2 peat per saturated peat, which is actually really, really, really nice. I don't know that there's any other way. I don't know that other ore doubling systems would work. Now, possibly the Elemental Craft one would. However, this ore doubles 100% of the time, which is kind of nice. So we're going to be going with that. And on that note, it is possible that some of the metals that we can't normally ore double, potentially even like vibranium and stuff, could potentially be ore doubled through the Rune Forge. Not for sure, but anyways, just something. We're going to get a little bit more into that today. And on that note, as far as Kymerite Crystals go, I did set up these little areas here. I may spruce them up a little bit, you know. And I set up some over here. And this is blue and light blue. And what this does is it repairs things. So I've had my armor in here getting it repaired. Now, unfortunately, I did test it. and it does not work with the golem plates, or the Runeforge plates, Runic Anvil. But I did go ahead and prep up a golem, which we're going to be making use of. This is a 2 grabber arm, smart head gold golem, and then in here we have a basic wooden golem. So that's where the rest of my golem plates went. Alright, so back over here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this big clump of wood. Now there's a few different options, as we mentioned last episode. Pretty much almost every magic mod has a way that we could deal with this, but I think we're going to start into a new mod today. If we take a look here, the Pedestals mod, it technically falls under tech, but I kind of feel like it kind of straddles that line between tech and magic. It's a lot like Project E or Reliquary's Pedestals, in that you set up a pedestal and it can do various different things. However, this can do a whole lot more. It can handle power, fluid, experience, items, do different tasks. We talked a little bit about this mod at the beginning of the series. I said we'd do some stuff with it. I think we're going to go ahead and touch on it today and use that. It's a great method too for handling something like this, because most of our other methods probably would have a lot of issue with this kind of overhang, and I'd probably have to put a ceiling over it and have it kind of be limited in the size. However, pedestals, we can handle that very, very easily. So we're going to grab a couple upgrades here. A pedestal tree chopper and pedestal block breaker upgrades. Now, by default, this only covers a 5x7x5, and this only covers a range of 1. Neither of which is going to be nearly enough for what we need. But what we can do is we can enchant these. So we're going to pop over. I did set us up a little enchant area. It's nothing fancy. We'll do a bit more with enchanting, I'm sure, later on. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to enchant this. And we're looking for, ideally, area 3. Well, no, area 4. Yeah, we want area 4. Area 4, ideally with no speed, but if we do get speed, that's okay. We only got pedestal speed 3. Okay. Let's go ahead and enchant this one. Now this one, speed, range, magnet, I want everything on this. So we're going to go ahead and take that. We just got pedestal range 3. Okay. Neither of those is really what I would like to have, but that's what I've got the disenchanter here for. So we're going to just drop that in, drop that in. I am going to need to give this some XP though. So out of curiosity, can I use this? I actually just came across this the other day in Craft to Exile, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. Of course, I didn't know at the time, up until then, that I could actually get XP storage in that pack. So does... we can't. That doesn't work. XP drain singularity tank, I think, would be the best route then. And we'll just attach this right here. And there we go. We can pull the enchants off of this stuff now. And we'll get the pedestal upgrade back. So we got pedestal speed 3 and range of 3. So then let's go ahead. Pedestal magnet, maybe. We got speed 4, range 4, and magnet. Okay, so in that case, I'm not as worried about magnet, to be perfectly honest, or speed. Oh, but this enchanter, will it split off? It does. It splits off into multiple books. Okay, great. Let's do that. And then let's go ahead and try that. That's a range 3. Okay, this will work. We'll go ahead and split that off for right now also. Okay, let's go ahead and get ourselves an anvil. Do a little bit of enchantment combining here. So I want the range 3 to get the range 4. And on our tree chopper, I just want range 4. That's all I want. On the block breaker, I want range of 4. Actually, it might even be better. And I want speed of 4. And I want magnet on that. I want everything. So we're going to take that, and this gives the breaker a range of 12, and this gives the tree chopper a range of 5 by 31 by 5. That way it can cover all the way up. Now, probably with Apotheosis, we could probably take these to like ridiculous sizes, which is funny because they cost nothing. I mean, this is like extremely cheap to set up. Let's go ahead and take our first pedestal. I'm going to put this away for right now. We're going to use that later, but and then let's take this, let's take this, let's take these, and our upgrade tool, we're going to go ahead and shift right click, turn it into a tool swapper, and then a filter swapper. And then this we can craft with sticks to get ourselves a filter. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. And then let me go ahead and just set up a chest like here. This is going to be basically just for setting up our filters. And let's go ahead and just chop some of this wood out of the way here. We'll go ahead and just drop that into there. And then we can take our filter and just shift. No. Oh wait, I actually need to upgrade this to a block filter, right? Okay, so that, plus that, we're going to get an item filter. And then we're going to shift right click on there, and you can see items in log, oak log, because that's all we want to break. That way, if we want to put some decorative blocks, decorative trees, that kind of thing around here, that'll be fine. Now, a 5 by 5 range actually doesn't cover a very big area. Honestly, I may end up setting up 2 of these because it's only going to come out by 2. I'll probably end up needing to set up a couple of these, to be honest. Or just decrease the size of this area, because it's only going to come out to here. I'd have to do another one, and another one, and another one, probably. But realistically, they are super easy to set up. So I may set up more of these, actually. But we're going to go ahead and just right-click our filter. I'm sorry, not right-click. Left-click. Put it in our offhand, and then right-click it onto there. And that's going to put the filter there as this little band. And then if we take our tree chopper and put it in there, you can see it's going to start breaking those logs. Now, if we had item magnet, it would actually like pull the items to it. But we don't want it to do that. We just want it to drop the items. I'm going to turn off that construct for just a moment. And we are going to, on his plant crop stuff, let's go ahead and take these out. Take these out. And let's just decrease his range, I think. At least for now, just so I don't have a whole bunch of wood there. So we'll just go ahead and add those in. And then he's going to place items in containers. And then can I add... Oh, he actually doesn't have just like a pick up loose items command. Okay. Yeah, so in that case, we'll just turn him back on. I'm done with him. There we go. And what we'll do is we'll just get ourselves a rat to do our cleanup for us. And this rat hopefully doesn't get caught in a tree whenever it grows. It's not very likely, and they do regen health really fast, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. We're going to go ahead and tell this one that it can pick up oak and oak logs. And actually apples, if it can find some apples. Another option, of course, is to set up a gourmet Alice and just let that eat the apples, but I don't know. And actually, I'm going to need more pedestals anyways, because these areas outside of that, I'm going to have to break all of that also. So I'm going to end up having to make a few pedestals, but that's fine. We got it back up and running right now. But I'm going to say that you can pick up oak logs and oak saplings for now. And you can just store them then into here. And you're going to have a platter. And you're going to deposit your items into the drawer controller, which you should be okay to do. Let's drop this down to, say, an 8, I think. 8 should be sufficient. We may have some, once we get more pedestals in place, we may have some blocks outside of that, but that's okay. And then we're going to go ahead and say that you are going to be gathering items. Okay. Well, he's going to start gathering. Platter does kind of slow him down a little bit, but not by much. Now, once again, he's probably not going to get full value out of that platter all that often, because the way that rats work, they see this as a stack of items, they're going to go grab that. They're not going to actually stay out here until they gather a stack, but the platter is kind of a just-in-case sort of thing. Now, let me go ahead and take the Conjuration Catalyst. This is actually going to be placed right underneath this mana pool that's over here. the Conjuration Catalyst that we made a couple episodes back. Because we're going to be using that here in a moment for generating our leaves. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to set up our flower collection and flower transport. So what we're going to do for that is we are going to be going with a hopper hawk. Let's get an open crate. Let's get a pulse spreader, two hovering hourglasses, 2 pieces of red sand, and then we're going to get ourselves a luminizer launcher and some luminizers. And I think that's going to be good. And actually, let me go ahead and fill this out real quick. That way we can just go ahead and have all the flowers locked in. Right over here, we're going to set up a pulse spreader, as you might expect. We're going to put it right there. And we are going to put in... You know what? I never made my drum. I was going to make a drum of the wild, and I didn't. Oh, and I was just thinking, the wood from this, we'll probably end up using that for automating living wood. Once I get the rest of the pedestals set up. And that way, we'll just have living wood coming in passively for us, which will be great. Okay, so we're going to set up our Drum of the Wild, and we're going to set this up like... let's see if that can reach that, though, without issue. Nope. It could go maybe to this one. Yeah, we'll just do that. That'll be fine. And I think that'll look actually just fine, to be honest. So we're going to run that across. And then before we start this running, because of course we're going to have a hovering hourglass just setting, right up behind this. Setting right in there with red sand. So that way it activates every 10 seconds. But before we do that, we are going to set up a little something here. And this is going to be a whole lot of fun to set up. We're going to open this up right here and put in a luminizer launcher. Is that where we want it? That's okay though, because I was planning on running like a line, maybe of jungle wood that comes across, basically like support, so it'll connect to the Wild Grove Shrine. And I will probably end up still doing that, and that would be perfect for the drum too, to make all this look like it fits in here better. So we're going to put a hovering hourglass right here. And then I can put a block below it, and then I can just bring these out as trapdoors. If I lose like 2 spaces for this setup, it's not really a big deal for us, to be honest. And I still need to facade that, but I can do that because these, of course, all open up. So I can easily access that. But let's go ahead. We're going to put red sand into this, so every 10 seconds it's going to activate. And we're going to put ourselves a luminizer just right there. And then let's grab that connection. And then we are going to, let's see, probably just fling up to here. And we're going to come out to like right here, I think. And we're going to line that up, and then we're going to grab this connection again. There we go. Do we want to go kind of above? Because I really need to kind of wind this a little bit more. Just for looks. So let's go here. We'll put one right there. I didn't grab this connection. GG me. We're going to go there. And before I forget, let me grab that. And then we're going to come right over to here. What we're going to do is we're just going to put a hopper in. Keep this really, really low tech. And we're right above it, we are going to put a luminizer in right there. Okay, and then that's going to connect to there. Okay, so what should happen now is I've got a lime. How much lime do I have in this at the moment? Because it should drop it straight down. We have 11 currently in there. I didn't think about that. Well, I'll figure something out there. I may end up shifting the luminizer up by 1. And we'll have the luminizer launcher there. The hovering hourglass, and I know it's going to activate this. We're going to go ahead and just remove that. Because I'm going to end up running that path, that line, and I can do a solid block there. That'll be fine for us. So just because otherwise that trapdoor is going to drive me insane. And then we'll put the luminizer back in on top of it. I like the luminizer being on top of it anyways. It's going to look a little bit better for us. Okay, and then what we're going to do is right above this, we're going to put in a floating hopper hawk right there. Let's see, are you getting... Yeah, you're getting mana from that pool over there. Okay, that is great. So, let's see, what do I need for a... Because a Mana Seer Monocle would actually help me out a lot this episode. Perfect. So there is our Mana Seer Monocle. And that way we can see the range on this, so... It should. It comes out to this area, so it should be able to pick up flowers all around it. So let's go ahead now and activate this. Now there is a pretty good chance, because we're not using frames, if anything else was to get dropped here, it shouldn't, but if anything else was to get dropped here, it could get other things, send them through, and back up the hopper. So that's something we'll have to be aware of. Maybe add something to clear that out if it becomes an issue, but I don't think that it will. Especially with mobs turned off in this area. I think we'll be okay. So it's going to fire a burst. That's going to break some leaves. And there goes all the flowers that it collected. And then a bit more. And this shoots them off. Now, initially, they're just going to kind of pile up there on the hopper. But the hopper will be able to collect those, you can see, as it runs those down. There we go. And here comes some more. And then about the time that it runs through and cleans up all of those, it should send more. There we go. Sending a bit of them. I might need a better hopper, to be honest. Though, no, I won't need one. Because, yeah, initially we're going to have a lot of flowers going through here. But as soon as, like right now, you can see there's no more flowers really. And this thing, it's only going to make like a couple every time that it goes through, you can see. Right there. And the Hopper Hawk can grab it. We could add delay to that. But I don't think I really want to. So if it doesn't get sent immediately, it'll get sent on the next one. You know, it's not that big of a concern for us. There we go. That is our flowers all taken care of. And we kept it kind of botanical and elemental craftish. I guess the next thing we will want to do is set up the crafting for our peat. Alright, now let's pop over. Let me make sure that this is still... Yeah. Let's pop over and let's go ahead and make this golem. And we're going to go speed, 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 speed. And then we're going to go carry capacity. Actually, carry capacity is not going to be that important for him. We'll do just 1 point of carry capacity. And then air. We want a lot of speed on this golem. And then right click that. We're not going to be using this one just yet. I just want to go ahead and get it made so I can get my wood one, because we are going to be using the wooden one right now. So now this golem, this is going to be our wood one. This one is going to be, let's see, doing a lot of moving around. Let's go air, 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 air. And then we're going to go ender, ender, ender for that carry capacity. And those are really the two ones that we're generally going to use for most things. Because what the other options are what, like swimming and damage and stuff. Damage resistance, physical damage resistance, ignition, like setting things on fire, and then buoyancy. So you can do it. Just jump. There we go. You stay right there, and we're going to set up his lodestar. And basically what he's going to do is he's going to, we're going to be crafting some things here. So basically he's going to grab podzol, he's going to grab, well, we're going to be making biomass first. He's going to be, is he going to be handling our leaves? Ideally, no. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to set up a factory dropper right here. And we're going to be using factory dropper just because that way we can do delay without needing a big cumbersome redstone setup. So we're going to have that there. And we're going to, let's see, let's grab an item frame. We're going to put an item frame onto our factory dropper. And this item frame, let me get some leaves real quick. We're going to put a leaf into our factory dropper. Okay, so this one is only going to be collecting leaves, and then we're going to go ahead and just put our hopper hock in right there. And this is going to make sure that we always have at least one leaf in here, the way that we're going to be setting this up. Well, we'll always have basically this filled up. And we're going to go ahead and set the delay. Yeah, this is the delay. We're going to set this up to 10 seconds. Okay. And then we're just going to put in our oak leaves. And actually, I'll tell you what, we're going to make a Boreal Seed. Because I'm going to give this one a little bit of a delay. Because I think we're going to need it. And we're going to go ahead and convert this over to a Boreal Seed. And of course, what this does is it's going to give it a delay. Right there. There we go. So now it's got a little bit of a delay. We're going to ignore redstone. So every 10 seconds, drop a leaf. I still feel like that is grabbing it very, very quick, even though with the delay. Let's turn this down then. Drop. Just constantly drop. There we go. Alright, so that's going to start generating leaves. Now, eventually this is going to back up, right? These are multiplying so fast. We're going to put in leaves right there. And then let's go get ourselves a rat real quick. And let me give this one a couple upgrades here. We're going to give it a platter and a whitelist. And the whitelist is just going to say leaves in it. Because that's all we need you to get. Okay, it looks like we have ran out of mana at this point. And I'm going to slow down the drop on this just a little bit to like 2-3 seconds, whatever that is right there. I think it's 2. Just so we don't have to worry as much about this kind of running out of space. And then we're going to go ahead and say that this is going to be his origin point. He's going to check like a 3-block range. Not a very big space there. Just check kind of around that. And we're going to go ahead and say that this is your home point, and you're going to deposit your items into the drawer controller, and then we're going to say gather items. So he's going to come over here, he's going to check for leaves. If he finds them, he's going to run over and put them into here. Okay. Now he's generally going to find them because, of course, this is going to continue dropping. Even though there's no mana available, it'll continue dropping. But really, I think I can do without the platter upgrade on this route, to be honest. Plus, he looks a little bit cuter without the platter. So, oh, you got yourself some oak, I guess. But that's going to drop. That's going to make our leaves. Okay, now at this point, what we can do is we can configure our golem, because we have leaves, we have saplings, and we have flowers over there. And it's going to be this golem that's going to handle all of that. And so what he's going to do is he's going to take, place, take, place, take, place. And what he's going to be doing is he's going to be taking from here twice. Oh, but the only thing is, I probably, honestly, should filter this to be a certain color of flower, because otherwise he's going to fill up our crafting tables with just flowers, different colors of flowers, since we're going with this method. So I think what I'm going to do is go with like, I don't know, cyan flowers. That's what he's going to be depositing, specifically cyan flowers. And then he's going to, this will be on this one, and we'll just say you're going to take cyan flowers, you're going to take cyan flowers, and then you're going to place them into here. And all of the place ones will be to there. So I'm going to go ahead and just set those up. And hopefully we don't have to have him move somewhere in particular. If we do, I'll have to do that. But I think he should just go over there, gather his flowers, come over to here, and then walk over, and then back over to there. There we go. He is off. So he's going to go over. He's going to get some cyan flowers. He's going to take them over to this work table and put them in. Now, something interesting, they will not take from the rat crafting tables. So I'm going to have rats take from the crafting tables and have the rats deposit into these drawers, and then have the golems just take from these drawers, and that should be fine. Okay, so I'm just going to tell these rats that they can take items from these. So take items from that and deposit it Oh, wonderful. He can actually deposit from, like, through that wall there. I'm probably not going to worry about a platter upgrade because he should do this faster. I wish this didn't happen. I have to keep resetting this. That might be an issue, to be honest, for the charcoal. If I have to reset that, like, all the time. Because it does seem to be kind of bugging out. But rats seem to be working great for this. So. And they're waiting patiently for that charcoal. Ah, ha, ha. So many rats. Okay, so that's in place. And we can see that our pods all are biomass. All this stuff is going up now. Alright, so that's in place. And then what we have to do is just set up a recipe here to make the dry peat bog in our last crafting table. So this is going to be biomass charcoal and pods all. Okay, it's the next day now. I've started setting up some pedestals. I am going to get these saplings collected, but right now I haven't set up these other pedestals. I did go ahead and switch over to an absorption hopper and then just having the rat move the items from the absorption hopper. Because this actually works a bit better. It doesn't cover the entire area, but it covers enough of it, and we'll get the rest of that later. I'm just going to add some additional collection once we get something in particular up and going. But I was messing with this golem. Okay, he's supposed to be managing that one crafting table that we set up, which he's doing. And then he's supposed to be managing the second one. And I've messed around with this, and for some reason he just will not see this crafting table. He goes over, he gets the items, like fills up his hands with 2 of the items, and then stands there for a second, and then throws them back in there, gets the other item, then throws it back in the drawer controller, which he's only supposed to do after he goes to the crafting table, but he's just not seeing this, I guess. So, due to that, I've even tried clearing him out and just having him go to that crafting table. He will not do it. For whatever reason, he just refuses to do it. Also, I did add a messenger lens over here just to cut down the mana, and I changed that over to a minute instead of every 10 seconds because it takes a little bit for this flower to grow. I did add a couple upgrades. I added another optimization, and then I added an acceleration to this. Between cuts, like basically I just got tired of messing with the golem, and I was like, well, I'm going to go update the pack. And I was looking at what was changed, and blood magic at long last is updated. I have played around with this before for the 1.16 version because it is my favorite thing in like all of modded as far as items go, yet in corporea. And it is finally updated for 1.16. We now have blood magic nodes. So we are going to push for that. And they are a little bit different in this version than they were in 1.12, but they're basically just better even than they were in 1.12. And in 1.12, they were probably the best item transfer system for like general items. It was the best item transfer system in like all of modded, in my opinion. Unless you needed something like super involved, and then, you know, XNet or something like that would be great. But we are going to use that for stocking because originally I knew this was going to happen, like with the essences. You know, I've got more coal coming in than wood and stuff like that. Originally, I was going to have kind of a cycling system where the things get cycled back out, and then we could keep, you know, so much on hand, so the rat always had what he needed to do his crafting. However, since we have blood magic nodes now, we can do all of our stocking through that while still keeping it kind of magical. Now, this does mean we do have to do a little bit of a progression push, but we're going to kind of just rush through this, and that way we can finish this off. That does mean that we probably will have one more part to this setup. I know it's been a long time, long process for the setup, but it's big, and there's a lot of stuff going on over here. So we are going to go ahead and just push straight into some blood magic and begin working our way towards nodes. Now, of course, after the update, I did go ahead and I added, I'm getting a little bit of lag spikes. It might be because my computer's been on for a bit, or it might just be, it might also be because of the update. And if so, that's going to be sad. I am kind of disappointed that they did what they did, to be honest. Because this pack's been out for a little while, and so that's why I started. It's because, like, well, it's not like in development. And then they drastically changed up mods, took out a bunch of mods, which is always actually really, really bad to do. Because even though the items are technically removed, like the mod is technically removed, the code still has those items. The configs, I've got to go through and get rid of all the configs for the mods that were removed. And clear those out. And those items still, like, technically exist. As far as the code goes, and changing up terrain generation mid-pack, always really, really bad. So I was kind of disappointed in this update, but it does bring blood magic up, and I do kind of want to keep this pack updated. But if it keeps acting up like this, I don't know. We'll just have to see. But we're going to go ahead and do the wonderful process of doing some blood magic. Now, to get our slates, which we're going to move our altar, it's not going to stay here, but it's just, okay, it's just default. Luckily, we have Confit Bialdi, so this is going to be extremely easy. Take that, and we'll go ahead and start some basic blood magic. Now, luckily, nodes in... This is great, by the way. Confit Bialdi is just too good. Ah! Honestly, self-sacrifice might be good to do for a while until we move up to automation. Though I don't really think we're going to push to that point, because we can get the, the Hellfire Forge just like that. I think to get our Master Node, which will be the most expensive, yeah, I think all of this is just 400 minimum wheel. Yeah. So that means we actually don't have to go, like, super crazy. We have to go up to the Common Tartaric, which just requires imbued slate. So tier 3. To get that. So that's about as far as we're going to go with blood magic. And I'm probably not even going to bother right now with runes either, for that matter. I think we're just going to go straight for the blank runes. Now the weak blood orb is just a diamond. Let me go grab one of those. Really don't like these like random like lag spikes. I'm probably going to test it and just see if it still does it without Rats and Ratlantis. And see if there's something I can do to fix it this weekend. Because it almost seems like it's just kind of like locking up, you know, every, I don't know, so often. So TPS is still good. I checked that. I was still at 20 TPS. It was great. But it's just, I get these, like, these chugs. Okay, now we've got the stuff to get our first 8 runes. Go, and we'll just kind of dump this in over here with all of our magic progression push stuff and fill this back up. That's why I don't mind like just breaking my altar when it's fully filled. And then I'm going to need 20 more runes and some glowstone to progress up to the tier 3, and then we can get rolling on the Hellfire Forge. Oh, and they removed... God, my windows are gone. I can just switch that to something else. It's just a height major mod change. It was like 5 or 6 mods removed, and the terrain generation all changed. And like, I hate when updates like that go out like mid pack. I don't understand it. But give me just a minute. I'm going to get the all the runes that we need crafted up. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about anything good as far as runes go. I'm just going to get 20 blank slates. We'll throw up some glowstone. We'll make a tier 3 altar, and then we'll move on into some wheel stuff real quick. Okay, I got all of that done. Let's go ahead and just put some glowstone. Grab that. Put some glowstone, and this should upgrade. There we go. We now have a tier 3 altar. Let me go ahead and fill this up. Let's throw our slate in there, because we're going to go ahead and make imbued slates. I think I've got everything that we're going to need to just go ahead and rush through some general wheel stuff, and then we'll cut. We'll go kill some mobs and cut and get that knocked out. Just kind of get through this real quick, because I don't want to waste a bunch of time on blood magic, because it's pretty much the exact same. Well, this part. There's a few added things, you know, we've pretty much done it on Stacia, but there's a few added things, but at the end of the day, it's really the same process. They've added a few new things, which we're going to get into, but for the most part, it's still kind of the same thing. Let me go ahead and get our Hellfire Forge. And then we're going to go ahead and lay out what's going to be our Tartarics. And they made the snares a bit, not really cheaper, but a little bit easier to do. I can't off the top of my head, I can't remember the old recipe, but I know it wasn't terrible, but I like this a bit more. Yeah, it's perfect timing because it's about to be night. So I'm going to need basically 2 demonic wheels to get us started, because I'm going to need 1 to make a Tartaric gem and 1 to make a sword. Ideally, I'd like to get 3 just so I can go ahead and make 2 petty Tartarics, or, well, 3 petty Tartarics. 1 for the sword and then 2 to do our scaling up. So we'll go with 8. That's probably going to be plenty, but we'll see. Alright. There's 1. Okay, and there's our 3rd one. Oh, leave me alone. Let's go ahead and we'll just toss in that. And then we're going to go ahead and just toss these down and then pick them up. And that'll put the wheel into our Tartaric gem. And we'll go ahead and toss this one down. Okay, so we've got 4.18 in our Tartaric gem. And then we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a Sentient Sword. There we go. Where in the world did you come from? Okay, we got our Sentient Sword. Let's go ahead, just because we can, let's go ahead and pop over and enchant this real fast. And whatever we get is fine. I'm not that worried about it. But if we can get, say, looting, that would be awesome. We'll just take that. So we got Instigating, Beheading 3, Knockback 2. Okay, none of that's even remotely good. Let me re-enchant it. Nature's Mend, Ender Disruption 4. Try again. I don't want to spend too much time since it is night, but Venom 2. That's also pretty bad. Tell you what, it doesn't want to give me, like, anything even remotely decent out of this. Life Leech and Cavalier. Okay, that should be suitable, I guess. I mean, it's not good. I was really just kind of wanting Unbreaking, or looting would have been great, but that's okay, because we're going to be able to enchant things properly, and I just need to rush a little bit of wheel right now, so. Alright, and then we're just going to start killing mobs. Okay, now to get our next tier, we are going to need 60 wheel within our Tartaric gem. Okay, I got enough wheel. We're going to go ahead and throw that into there, and that is going to allow us to craft our Lesser Tartaric. And then we're going to take this, and we're just going to shift right click and put all of that wheel into this Tartaric. Okay, and now I need to go back out once again. And I'm going to go ahead and work towards filling this Tartaric up before I go back, I think. Though I may have to go back to set it back to night. And if I have to do that, I probably will go ahead and craft the other Tartaric up. But we're going to need this one almost full for this, right? We're going to need 240 minimum wheel. I'm up to 110.9. So I might even see about enchanting it a little bit more. Just because getting looting on here would make a huge difference, or getting sharpness, or unbreaking. Okay, we got enough wheel in here. We're going to go ahead and toss that in, and we are going to get our final tier of Tartaric. There we go. That is the common Tartaric, and then of course we can just empty that into here. Alright, and then we just have to basically fill this up a bit. I did get looting 2 on this, not looting 3, but it's still pretty good. But in order to get our routing nodes, we have to get up to 400 wheel, which really isn't too bad. But it's about to be day. I tell you what we're going to do, because I know we're already at about the 45-minute mark. We're going to pop over. We're going to throw this in here and let this just repair for a little bit. I wonder about... Okay. I thought, man, that would be really nice if you could just repair it. Sometimes there are mods that work that way. Where it sees this as durability, you know, it's managed by durability, so sometimes you can repair them. This will take a little bit to run, but you can see it's already gotten a bit of its durability back. So I'm just going to let that recharge, and since we're at the 45-minute mark, now I do apologize, I know we didn't finish this out. We were almost done, because all we had to do was set up this end. If my golems would work, just set up this end, which is actually really easy, and then the rune forge. But since we're going to be doing the node system, it's going to take us just a little bit longer. But it'll be better, I think, in the long run. It'll be quite a bit better. So what we're going to do, we're going to wrap up this episode here. Next episode, when we come back, we are going to finish this out. I promise. There's nothing else standing in our way, and we have nodes. Which, honestly, nodes are, as I mentioned, like one of the best item transport systems. They're great at stocking. And with the changes for the 1.16 version, they're even better than they were in 1.12. I'm very, very happy to see those back and see those get updated into this pack. So come next episode, we will change over some of this. It's going to be really, really quick. And then we will set up the rest of our system. We'll get to that next episode. So basically, we just had to push like all of Britannia and like a big chunk of blood magic to do this. That's okay. But I'll get the rest of the wheel that we need between episodes, and that way we can just quickly craft. This one has enough space for 1024, so if I fill up one of these, we should be all set for next episode. I may even upgrade that other lesser to a common and fill it up as well, if I feel skippy. We'll see. But yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time for the third and final part, I promise, of this setup. So, and I hope you guys are enjoying the setup so far. It's a bit different. It's a bit more involved, but it's actually been a lot of fun to set up. I'll be honest. So, but anyways, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys then.